Hey guys, so today I want to talk about reflexes that integrate. These are super important because these lay down the foundation for our nervous system and just how our kids interact with the world around them. And also, these are super important to know because if these are present when they shouldn't be, then that could be indicative of a central nervous system disorder. So for example, let's say you're seeing ATNR in a 5-year-old kid, that could be a sign of a CNS problem. So super important to know, and super important to know all the timelines that these reflexes typically fall within. So starting off with the first part of the mnemonic, I actually gave myself the name Riley to remember what time period this starts. So it's like Riley sings so many poems. And then you'll notice for the rest of the mnemonic, I have 2 other names, and that kind of gives me a hint that it changes time period where it starts. So Riley sings so many poems, that's rooting, suck, swallow, traction, moro, and then the plantar reflex. And these all typically start around 28 weeks gestation. So it's very easy to just kind of write it down or just kind of know like, okay, when Riley goes, it's 28 weeks gestation. However, some of these reflexes do integrate at different times. So even though they all start around 28 weeks gestation, some of them do end around 3 months, 5 months, and as you can see, just different months. However, what is most important to know is that these numbers are about the typical time frame that you're going to see these reflexes in. So some of these infants, some of these kids may integrate these reflexes a little bit before than what the time says on the picture. So that's important to know. However, this is about the time frame that is like maybe the latest you might be seeing these reflexes. All right, so let's move on to the second part. So the second part is Garrett appears pleased to listen. So again, with the name, Garrett gives me a clue that it starts at a different time period. So Garrett is different than the ATNR, Palmer, and tonic labyrinth reflexes. As you can see, Garrett starts at 32 weeks gestation. However, I remember Garrett because Garrett has 2 R's in it, and then also Gallant, I'm pretty sure it's called Gallant, has 2 A's in it. So the 2 A's and then the 2 R's give me a clue that, okay, this starts around 32 weeks gestation and should end or should integrate about 2 months. So the 2 A's, 2 R's, 32 with the 2 months. Anyways, appears pleased to listen. So your ATNR, your Palmer reflex, your tonic labyrinth, and then your tonic labyrinth, both supine and prone, they all start around 37 weeks gestation and should integrate about 6 months. And the reason why I did to listen instead of both T's for the mnemonic is that I felt like it gave me a clue that, oh yeah, there's 2 tonic labyrinths. There's both supine and prone. All right, so let's review what we already memorized. So our mnemonic so far goes, Riley sings too many poems, Garrett appears pleased to listen. So again, the 2 names give us the clue that the reflexes start at a different time period during gestation. However, just to go over the whole thing, so Riley goes with rooting, sings goes to suck, swallow, to detraction, many to moro, poems to the plantar reflex, Garrett to the Gallant, appears to ATNR, please is to Palmer, 2 is to tonic labyrinth supine, and then listen is to tonic labyrinth prone. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Again, starting off with the name, so it's Landon sings, no one listens. And it's kind of a weird abruption to the story if you're reading the mnemonic just as it flows. But I like to say, however, when Landon sings, no one listens. And that gives me the clue that in this time period, the reflexes actually appear after birth compared to the other reflexes that appear during gestation. So Landon is the Lando reflex, sings is STNR, no one is the neck riding reflex, and then listens is the body riding reflex. So these start about 3 to 4 months after birth, and then they end around, it's kind of a weird time period, but the Lando ends around 24 months, and then the STNR reflex should be integrated about 12 months, the neck riding about 5 years, and same with the body riding reflex. It should end around 5 years. All right, it's time to review all of them. So it goes, Riley sings so many poems, Garrett appears pleased to listen. However, when Landon sings, no one listens. So hopefully that helped you guys memorize the reflexes that integrate. I know it's a whole lot, and I know a lot of it still has to do with memorization, but hopefully by dividing it by names and by kind of chunking it into groups, it will help you guys memorize all those reflexes. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!